Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in, just imagine breathing in a slow, calm, relaxing breath. And as you exhale, feel a wonderful sense of release. As you scan your body for any clues of tension, just imagine that tension leaves your body on your outward breath. And this time, as you breathe in, just imagine breathing in the brightest, whitest, healing white light. And as you imagine breathing in, just imagine that bright white healing light going in through your nose, down into your lungs, and use the power of your imagination to imagine your heart extracting the healing energy of that white light and distributing it to every cell, every bone, every tendon in your body. In the same way that your body knows how to extract oxygen from the air, distribute it to your body, and as you exhale, exhale the waste, exhale that carbon dioxide. But I want you to imagine that instead of exhaling just carbon dioxide, imagine you are exhaling any discomfort, any tension, any heavy emotions of the past, but also any unwanted, unnecessary pain. As you breathe out, see that leaving your body as a dark, shadowy color. Breathing in the healing white light and exhaling pain, discomfort, tension. Just imagine it leaving your body. Consider this an emotional transfusion, giving your body relaxation, resources, and healing energy, and then exhaling whatever your body has been holding on to that it doesn't need anymore. Breathing in and breathing out. The deeper you breathe, the more relaxed you feel. And the more relaxed you feel, the deeper you breathe. And I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine seeing a photograph of you on a rocky beach in Malta. It doesn't matter if the photograph exists or not. Just imagine it. Seeing you at that age, at that time in your life, knowing that you were filled with resources like courage, confidence, determination, tenacity, but also health, vitality, strength. And I want you to imagine staring into the picture, seeing you on that beach, accepting that that version of you had those qualities. And when you can imagine you on a beach in Malta, brimming with the very qualities and resources that would be useful for you now, let me know by nodding your head. And then imagine how good it would feel to step into the photo. You are now on the same beach, seeing that younger version of you, you to get a sense that you have wisdom that that younger version of you didn't have. And that younger version of you has resources that would be useful for you now. So imagine stepping into that younger version of you, and you're giving that younger version of you your wisdom and insight, and you're feeling how it feels to have that mobility, strength, courage, and confidence. Feel how good it feels. Feel that you are reawakening those neural pathways that knows how to move, how to feel liberated and free. I want you to imagine staring out into the cold sea and seeing a big rock and just deciding, just for fun, as a challenge, to go into the cold waters and swim around the big rock. And if you're ready to do that, let me know by nodding your head. So just imagine you're wearing whatever clothing is necessary, useful, desirable for you to do this, and imagine walking into the sea, walking with a sense of purpose, confidence, determination, and tenacity. And as your toes and feet hit the water, notice it's cold, but that doesn't faze you. As you understand that things don't have to be easy in order to be worthwhile. As you submerge into the cold water, you may even make the evaluation that the cold seawater has healing properties. Many people will take ice baths or cold showers just to activate the body's powerful healing properties, but you don't need that. Allow the coldness of the seawater to feel that it's activating your immune system. It's stimulating your body's healing powers. And then imagine swimming in the water in whatever stroke and style is the right one for you. Imagine you've been swimming for 2 or 3 minutes, and it occurs to you something is hindering your swimming. I want you to imagine there are 2 bags attached to a belt on your waist. Heavy bags. Bags perhaps filled with what feels like pebbles and stones. I want you to get a sense that even though you can swim with these bags heavy around your waist, it doesn't make it easy. So you have a choice. You can either continue to swim with these heavy bags around your waist, or you can detach the bags and let them go. The bag on the left side of your waist, let's just call it regret. And as you're swimming in the ocean, I want you to think of one specific thing that, knowing what you now know, you would have done differently. Perhaps you can even go back to that memory. See everything that happened, but this time as an observer. Seeing you, seeing what happened, and notice how much additional insight you get when you become the observer. no longer in your body, almost like an imaginary person just watching everything that's happening. I want you to see everything as it happened in that moment of regret and get a sense that knowing everything that you now know, of course you could do things differently. That doesn't mean you did anything wrong. You didn't have the insight and the wisdom then that you now have. You did the best you could with the resources you have, but you have more resources now. And one of those resources is wisdom. And when you've seen that moment of regret, and you feel that you've got all of the insight and wisdom that you could possibly extract from that memory, let me know by nodding your head. Just like a piece of fruit, like an orange that's been squeezed so that there isn't a single drop more. You've extracted all the wisdom from that memory. And then rewind it and play it forward the way you would have wanted it to have happened if you had all the wisdom that you now have back then. What would you do differently? What would you say differently? Would you take more time to think, consider, allow yourself to regulate your emotions in different ways? Just allow yourself to be the observer, seeing that version of you doing things differently with the wisdom applied, but noticing that you've got so many different choices. You get to keep playing different scenarios, different possibilities, until you find the one that you liked. And when you found a way of updating that moment, not to change the past, but to communicate to your unconscious mind that of course you're wiser now, because you would have handled that situation differently. When you found the right update, let me know by nodding your head. That's it. And then find yourself back there in the ocean, and because you've applied the wisdom to that moment, you can now detach that heavy bag of regret and just see it falling down to the bottom of the ocean floor, and noticing that it's so much easier to swim now because you're not holding on to that regret. But there is a second bag attached to you, another heavy bag that we can call sadness. And I want you to think of one specific thing that's been making you sad. Maybe something you feel like you've lost. Something that happened that you wish didn't. Some kind of evaluation that you've made that leads to a feeling of sadness. Hold on to that bag while you're swimming and think of one moment more than any other that's responsible for the sadness in this bag that you're carrying around. If the purpose of regret is to lead to wisdom, the purpose of sadness is to lead to acceptance. And I want you to think back to a moment of sadness. Again, be the observer. See what happened. But this time, objectively. See what happened without having to do anything or change anything, but through the lens of acceptance. When something is truly accepted, it enables you to no longer focus on the cloud, but the silver lining. No longer the curse, but the blessing. No longer the problem, but the solution. So keep looking at that moment of sadness from all the different perspectives. Imagine seeing it in reverse, seeing it from above, seeing it in black and white, or looking at the same moment like it's a cartoon. Keep seeing that same moment until you can see it and not feel any sadness anymore. Maybe you shrink it down and send it a mile away. Make it so small and far away that even though the memory exists, it no longer makes you feel anything. And when you've reached the point of acceptance, that you accept what has happened and have detached any emotional pain from that, let me know by nodding your head. And in doing so, feel a weight being detached, specifically the weight of sadness that's been holding you down. See it or feel it there on your waist while you're swimming in the ocean, and detach it. You've now let go of regret and sadness, and notice how much lighter you feel, how much easier it is to make progress, to swim forwards. You are still the same you, but without carrying that sadness and regret, you can make progress quicker. And progress when swimming around a rock is every stroke, every kick of the feet, movement of the arms moves you forward. And as you imagine making progress swimming around the rock, perhaps on your way back to shore, I want you to think about, what does progress look like tomorrow? What would represent 1% incremental progress in different areas of your life? What would emotional progress look like? What would physical progress look like? What would social progress look like? Social progress could just be reaching out to someone you haven't spoken to in a while and wishing them a happy new year. Physical progress could be moving or walking just slightly more than you normally would. Emotional progress could be forgiving yourself, even if it's for just one thing. And when you get a sense of what progress could look like tomorrow and the day after that, let me know by nodding your head. And feel that you're swimming back to shore, feeling that something has changed. When you left, you were carrying the weight of that regret and sadness, but now as you return, it's no longer there. You feel lighter. You feel more resourceful. You feel healthier. You feel like you have permission to forgive yourself and to focus on tiny, incremental progress. And as you return back to the shore, feeling refreshed, rejuvenated, but also proud of your accomplishment. Allow swimming around the rock to be a metaphor that you can handle difficult challenges. You can face adversity, and you are stronger and more capable than you realize. That's it. So as you breathe in and breathe out, there on that beach in Malta, get a sense that you're now holding a picture that you're looking into, but this time seeing yourself at your current age on that beach in Malta, looking healthy, strong, and vital. It's time to return to the here and now, but allowing all these positive changes to come back with you. So take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes as I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. You will awaken feeling resourceful, calm, and confident, feeling that the future is brighter and more optimistic. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.